for everybody who's watching the show, you know the next part that we normally like to do are the discussion topics. So after the discussion topics, we're actually going to give you guys a chance to give your opinions as well. We'll have Darius walking around with the microphone to hand it off to you guys. The first discussion we're going to talk about, I'm sure you guys probably heard about it, it's pretty recent in the news, is Cam Newton's sexist comments on an interview he had.
Wow.
Yes. So for those who don't know, it was a female interviewer, and she talked to. She knows, right? All right. So he the interviewer asked him about routes and a couple other football technicalities, and he replied with, "That's funny that a female talks about routes." Wow. So my question is, what do you guys think about that? Is that sexist? Is it blown up a little bit too much in the media? Is it something small? What's going on?
Man, that joint's mad sexist, yo. If you watched the video, you saw how he answered. It was so smug. Yeah. Like he went into it immediately like, that's hilarious. Female asking me about routes. Like, she's been a reporter for years. A football reporter for years. Routes are easy. I don't understand that.
And the thing is that was really bad for Cam Newton is that after the press conference or whatever, she went back to talk to Cam Newton about about his comments. Mm-hmm. And she said, "I've been working here for a year. Do you even know my name?" And he was like, "No." But at the same time, to Cam Newton's defense, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of females in here that love football just like I do. I played for 4 years at Norfolk State, but at the same time, there is a small majority of females that are reporters for any type of football league, and so you can't, it's a really thin line.
But that's still a spit in her face. That's because it's her job to do this. So
hold on, I don't think so.
She commented about it on Twitter afterwards, saying this is her job. This is what she does all the time. For somebody to tell you it's shocking that your gender knows about this. That's a spit in her face.
No. If you listen at his exact words, he said it's funny at that moment, and he was already in a humorous mood, so he just laughed at it. That's how he was feeling in that moment. But so how can we say that it was a sexist comment? I mean, he didn't discredit her years in the game as far as learning and her experience. He just said it was funny to him.
Right. Well, do you all think it was a good? The media really blew it up. They really blew it up. Do you think it was worth all of that, or is it?
No. I think that the whole gender thing is trending, so media's jumping on that.
I don't know, bro. I think it deserved all the news outlets it got, because this is not the first time this has happened. At the same time, there's been multiple situations where.
I'm talking about Trump.
No, I'm talking about Trump. I'm talking about females talking to professional athletes that are females that are qualified to be reporters. Now, at one time, one female, she went to the Yankees locker room, and she was talking to the guy, and I think he was like, oh, this might be the same one, but he was like, I only talk to females in the locker room when I'm naked if they're on top of me or I'm on top of them. And he was like, otherwise I don't talk to them, and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's tough.
So I feel like you have to press this issue,
But, I mean, in that case, he could have been annoyed that this female reporter is in here and I'm naked, I'm changed. It's a locker room. Right. It's a locker room. I'm playing ball.
So
I'm naked in there sometimes.
What I will say, I do think this was
a locker room.
I don't think this was blown up, but I do think that it's been blown up in comparison to a lot of other things, because there's a lot of things that happen in the NFL. People beat their wives, and it's never put on the news as much as this has been.
Unless they're black.
Cam Newton, one, he's black. Two, he has the Cam Newton Foundation. He donates the kid. He's doing very positive.
I don't think race has anything to do with it, bro. I think if it was a white man or a black man, it still would have the same type of issue.
I don't think it would be a
I
spin.
don't think so.
Tom Brady would do the same thing.
That joint would not be on the same level.
I mean, certain people.
All right. Calm down.
The vast majority of people are white.
All right, everybody, calm down.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It might not be blown up as much in certain media outlets, but it still would have been an issue, and we would have been outraged by it.
Yeah.
It still would have got the same type of, you know what I'm saying? Because any media is good, whether good or bad, it's still media. Because it would have just went to different outlets if it was a white man. But since it was black, it went to the mainstream. But we still would have heard about it. Is all I'm saying.
Again, I agree with you. We would have heard about it, but my point was that it wouldn't be this significant, this big. I think the fact that he's a successful black man, a good football player, doing positive for the community, they were looking for something to discredit him. That's why it's big. Not saying that it's not a big issue, but that's why the news made it a big issue.
Yeah, they blew it up.
They use this as an opportunity to jump at him. That's how I see it.
And that's true. And we have to realize that the mainstream media is trying to get attention. That's all they're doing. So they're going to point out every little thing. I mean, how many times have you laughed about something just trivial and somebody made it a big deal?
As somebody who's always in the cameras, I can't use that as an excuse. You gotta watch what you say. Even in his apology video, he said he apologized to the people who may have been offended. He didn't apologize for what he did. He said, I apologize to everybody who may have been offended. And he looked sincere, but if you listen to his words, he didn't care. He didn't care. He was apologizing because he had to.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like he came at her in a sexist manner.
But that's part of the problem right there. A lot of people that are saying something sexist don't even think about the fact that what they're saying is sexist. And you got that happening all across the board. And just because you aren't aware of it doesn't exclude what it is. Microaggressions. I mean, so if you want to parallel, most of us in here are black folks, you got somebody be like, man, your hair, how'd you do that? Shit, y'all.
I get that all the time, by the way.
See what I'm saying? Right at home, dog. And so it's a similar story here. Women hear it all the time. Oh, you're a woman? You doing that? Wow. Like, what? I can't have the same kind of job as you. I can't be here because I'm a woman. That still makes it sexist. Whether or not you know or not, still makes it sexist.
That's true.
All right, so we're running out a little bit of time, so we're actually going to use this time to go to the audience and get a couple of their views. So if you do have something you would like to say, all you got to do is
She's had a lot to say.
Oh man, not pointing to the right one because she was very vocal. She was about to hop on stage and slap parents. He said, oh, you got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're talking about. Hey, what's your name?
Tisha.
Tisha, you're very vocal. I like that you're vocal. Tell us your opinion on what these guys were saying.
The situation with Cam Newton, it was...
Stand up. Can you stand up?
Say,
it was, I feel like it was extremely sexist. The way that he said it, his smirk, the whole way that he went about it. After the fact, his apology was not sincere in no way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, the media is trying to stretch it because he is a well-known African-American male.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how much background do we know about that gentleman who shot up all those individuals inside Vegas?
Right.
He was mentally disturbed, and oh my goodness, he had issues and situation going on. It was a whole, exactly. It's always a conspiracy. It depends on the color of your skin, and it depends on your money and your rank inside the African American community. But he was extremely sexist. It was sexist, but it's all right. I still love you, Cam.
We had somebody. What's up, man?
I'll choke him out when he gets.
Okay, I'm coming up. Mike G, stand up for me, man.
I told him you should have said that. Carl was wrong.
You know I'm a Panthers fan. Speaking from my brother town, singing all too sensitive. I'm going to go ahead and say that because you got to look at it like this. I know his personality. It was just him being funny. And if it was outside of the professional environment, it wouldn't have been nothing. Like, if I say something like that, like, oh, it's funny. When you hear me talking about routes, it was flirtatious. That's what it was. She wasn't offended. I'm going to say that again. She wasn't offended. She just took the opportunity to get her name out there because who was she before Cam offended her? That's my comment. Now, granted, it was a bad move. Cam by drinking pump things. And I was like, that was stupid because he was damn
That's good. It's I seen gentlemen in great living.
Y'all make me work, nigga. What's your name? Marcus.
He said, just give me the mic.
It's a mixture of things. Matt said we're all a little sensitive. It was immature. It was a little sexist. But if y'all pay attention to the NFL, Hunt, who's a white player who plays for New England, a couple of years back, the girl said something, female reporter said something about 69. He looked at her and said, yeah, I'll get 68, then I'm gonna get 69 touchdowns. Man, you know what 69 means, right, baby? Nobody said anything. They play it on the NFL Network as a joke. They don't care. Wow. I just came from the New England area, and he still has all his endorsements, Cam Moss, Bannon. Yeah. And then they signed Dak right after, because he's a good old boy, right? Like the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys fan. It's a number. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We gotta see you next time.
I don't know a lot about this incident, but from what you guys have said, I think it was sexist, mainly because it's her profession. Now, if she was someone outside of football or something, then I may say, like, oh, you know something about football. But because it's what she does, then I feel like he shouldn't have said that. For example, if a man, knows something about makeup, he's like, oh my God, you know something about makeup, right? Because his profession as a makeup artist, you gotta respect him as such. So I think the statement he made was sexist.